I created a hot sauce for Kim Jong Un, sent it to him in North Korea, ended up going to a North Korean meeting, and this is what happened.
Ever met Kim Jong Un at all, or is that a silly question? Or
To start this story off, back in 2019, when Kim Jong Un met Donald Trump, this was an incredibly historic occasion. And with my business brain on, I thought it'd be a good idea to create a hot sauce to mark this historic occasion and hopefully sell buckets full of this stuff. Airbnb actually funded themselves in the early days with something similar, a political cereal called Obama O's. I've got 100 bottles of Mr. Kim's hot sauce rocket fuel. Who wants one? The marketing didn't go to plan and I sold absolutely zero.
You should take defeat personally, period.
Now, after a few hours of research into marketing, I thought who better to market Mr. Kim's rocket fuel to than the main man, Kim Jong Un. My thinking is, who better to be an ambassador of Mr. Kim's rocket fuel than the main man himself, Kim Jong Un. If I can get this hot sauce to him, then I think sales will go hyperbolic. Now, I think what's going to help me get Mr. Kim's rocket fuel to Kim Jong Un is that it's based on rockets. This guy loves rockets. He simply cannot get enough of them. Forget Elon Musk or Richard Branson or Jeff Bezos. This guy's side hustle is firing rockets into space to wind people up. I am a little nervous about sending Kim Jong Un a parcel.
They put you in jail.
I mean, if they don't like someone, whether it's in international soil or domestic soil, they make them disappear. Now, do I think Kim Jong Un is going to be offended by Mr. Kim's rocket fuel? Absolutely not. I think he's going to love it.
You make an appointment with the dentist and you don't show up, believe it or not, jail right away.
So the first stage of this master marketing plan is pretty simple. Send Kim Jong Un a bottle of Mr. Kim's rocket fuel, pop an Apple Airtag in the parcel so that we can track it as it makes its way to North Korea. This Apple Airtag will basically ping anytime it gets a Bluetooth connection with an iPhone. So in Western countries that's pretty easy because there's plenty of iPhones, but in North Korea that could be slightly harder, so we're going to wait and see. After a little bit of research on Quora to see how to ship things to North Korea, I'm getting mixed feedback. Others saying it's near enough impossible, and some are saying it's doable. One interesting article I did come across was a Russian girl who wrote a letter to the North Korean embassy that she wanted to learn more about the country, and she got an all expenses paid trip to North Korea, so there is hope. Now, this is probably the hardest part out of this whole ridiculous plan. Where the hell do you address a parcel to Kim Jong Un? Now, after a few minutes of research on Google, I actually found Kim's palace on Google Earth. It's called the Raisong Residence. I mean, look at this place. Swimming pools, basically a luxury mansion for Kim Jong Un to hang out and enjoy a nice bottle of Mr. Kim's rocket fuel. With my logistics head on, I thought it's probably not the best idea to address it to his palace, as the chances of it actually getting there are probably next to nil. I did, however, come across a Ministry of Foreign Trade in the capital of North Korea, Pyongyang. My thinking is that things must get shipped here. It's Ministry of Foreign Trade, they're dealing with other countries, so this is going to be my first port of call. So I'm actually doing a bit of research here now, and I've found two companies that can potentially ship Mr. Kim's rocket fuel to North Korea. The first one is DHL. DHL have actually got their own logistics centre in Pyongyang in North Korea. Now, for some reason, when I go on their website, it is not allowing me to send anything to North Korea. They do advertise that they do send stuff to North Korea, but I've also found a company called Parcel right up my street, which is currently allowing me to send this parcel to North Korea. So I'm going to type in all the details and the shipping weight and the address, which of course is the Ministry of Foreign Trade, and then fingers crossed, hopefully this can be our way to get Mr. Kim's rocket fuel to the main man, Kim Jong Un. Okay, just as I thought we were in luck, Parcel have raised a support ticket, and they've sent me an email and they are refunding my money. So I think I spent around £69, probably around $85 US, and instantly they've just gone, nope, we don't want anything to do with this package, and they've refunded my money. DHL are not allowing me to book anything to North Korea, even though on their website they do say they send stuff to North Korea, so I don't know what's going on with that. I don't know whether it's because I'm in the UK. I've also gone on Royal Mail as well, the UK postal service, and they also are not allowing anything to be sent to North Korea parcel-wise. I did actually find a weird thing that they are accepting letters, so I don't really know where to go from here. But what I am going to do is I'm going to go to some post office, ask if I can send stuff to North Korea directly versus actually going on the website, and fingers crossed we can hopefully get this sent ASAP. Can you send stuff to North Korea? Okay, so we are back in the international headquarters of Mr. Kim's Rocket Fuel, and things have not been going as well as I'd hoped. After going to the different post offices, no one is letting me send a parcel to North Korea. However, I've been online and I can send a letter to North Korea. So this is the plan of action to start off with. I'm going to take a photo of Mr. Kim's Rocket Fuel, attach the Apple Airtag inside of it with a letter, address it to the Ministry of Foreign Trade, and I'll read you the letter in a second, and hopefully we can at least try and get this letter to Kim Jong Un, to the Ministry of Foreign Trade. Sounds ridiculous. So the letter reads, "To Kim Jong Un, hope things are well. I created this hot sauce named after yourself, Mr. Kim's Rocket Fuel. Love to get a photo with you in the hot sauce, but at the moment the West is up to their usual tricks and I can't seem to send a parcel to North Korea. Would love to meet you and give you the hot sauce. I've included an Apple Airtag as a bit of an experiment to see if this letter will actually get to North Korea. Many thanks, Tom." So that is what we're going to progress with next. We're going to send this letter to North Korea, to the Ministry of Foreign Trade, and fingers crossed it's going to reach there. So after heading to the post box and sending the letter, the next thing to do was wait. And it was not a long wait before Her Majesty's Postal Service was in full force and had my letter on the way to Kim Jong Un in North Korea. After spending a night in the lovely northern UK town of Warrington, it made its way to a sorting office near Heathrow Airport in London. Bingo! Not long now until me and the big don Kim Jong Un are enjoying a nice bottle of Mr. Kim's Rocket Fuel in sunny Pyongyang. It stayed in the Heathrow Worldwide Distribution Centre for a few days, probably while staff scratched their head and wonder what to do with the letter. Then it made its way to the outer perimeter of Heathrow Airport, where it stayed again for a few days. It finally made its way to somewhere important within Heathrow Airport, what looked like from Google Earth a place potentially that cargo gets loaded onto planes. Then the trail went quiet. Nothing for 6 weeks. Tracking online wasn't working. Maybe it did go on a flight, but it would have had to stop somewhere because obviously there's no direct flights from London to North Korea. Or had it just been destroyed underneath the airport in the many sorting routes that lie underneath an airport? Okay, so the next 24 hours are pretty instrumental in the global success of Mr. Kim's Rocket Fuel. I have found myself a North Korea meeting I'm going to go to this evening. I'm going to secretly record, hopefully, and introduce Mr. Kim's Rocket Fuel to the Korea Friendship Association. Now, one of the guys who runs it, I'm not going to say his name for fear this video might get taken down, but he, from the articles I've read online, he is basically a friend of Kim, which is super exciting because this is our direct link to get Mr. Kim's Rocket Fuel to Kim Jong Un. I'm taking a walk through this lovely wooded area at the moment because I've been reading that some business titans of the world like Elon Musk go for walks before big deals, before big negotiations. So I'm taking a leaf from their book, a page from their book, one of those business sayings, and I'm trying to clear my mind about negotiations, marketing, accountancy, everything I'm going to say within this meeting, and hopefully get Mr. Kim's Rocket Fuel to the world, to North Korea, and fingers crossed this will be a resounding success. After getting my best suit out to make a good first $1 million business impression, I thought it'd be wise to go over some lines and things I'll say in the hope of securing a big deal with the North Koreans. Great doing business with you. Great doing business with you. 40,000 bottles. No, too small. I'd like to place an order for 100,000 bottles. Tom, we'd like to place an order for 500,000 bottles of Mr. Kim's rocket fuel. Got yourself a deal there, Kim. Big strong handshake. Come on, let's do business, will ya? Stop it! As I was heading off to the North Korea meeting and nearly sideswiping this van, Russia had launched an invasion of Ukraine, which could not have come at a worse time for Mr. Kim's rocket fuel. You see, the invasion of Ukraine does not bode well with the marketing of a product which is entirely based on high-velocity rockets, not to mention the fact that the North Koreans are friendly with the Russians. After glossing over this small speed bump, I was starting to get a little nervous. Right, I'm going in here with a big idea to do some big business. I put my phone in my pocket on record and headed into the lion's den.
Oh,
You come to a meeting?
I have, yes.
Oh, brilliant.
Yeah,
Cool,
how are you?
man.
Nice to meet you, Tom.
Oh, Tom, what?
Yeah, cheers. Hi guys, you alright? Nice to meet you, Tom. How are you?
Oh, Tom,
Yeah.
you emailed me.
Yeah, I did, yeah. How are you?
Yeah, not too bad.
Yeah, Tom. So what was your name?
Pete.
Pete. How you going? Yeah, nice to meet you both. Hiya. Nice to meet you. How are you? I then took a seat to listen to a talk from the guy who is supposedly a friend of Kim Jong Un. For context, when he's referring to the DPRK, this means the Democratic People's Republic of Korea, aka North Korea. The talk lasted nearly 2 hours, all whilst I'm sweating at the front thinking how best to approach him with my business idea. This is a super quick snippet of what he talked about.
There's no foreign banks in Pyongyang, nor McDonald's and KFC or whatever. The DPRK is a country that can do and say what it likes without looking over its shoulder at others. DPRK is a stable country, it's a united society, free from conflict and division. I'm not going to say there's no crime in the DPRK, but certainly crime is very low there and almost unheard of. And it's a country free from terrorism. And despite more than 60 years of sanctions and blockades, DPRK is implementing popular policies such as free education, free housing, free medical care, and without taking a penny from its citizens in tax, because taxation was abolished in March 1974. So I hope you will join us in KFA in defending the people's Korea and get out there and spread the message. Thank you very much for your attention.
As he opened the floor for questions, I got super excited when he mentioned how many times he'd been to North Korea.
How many times have you used the arcade? 23, 22?
Not as many as that. I've been 18 times, starting in 1992, and I was there 2012.
It was time for me to ask him if he'd met Kim Jong Un. This would be my big chance.
Just thank you very much. Yeah, obviously first time here. Have you ever met Kim Jong Un at all, or is that a silly question, or?
I haven't met him personally, but I've been very close
Yeah.
to him. In fact, so because 2012, the military parade, at the end, he waved to everyone, and I think we were about very close, weren't we? We were about, like, he was like as if, like at the end of this, would you say?
Well,
disagree?
very,
Very close.
Well, what an absolute shambles that was. The guy hadn't even met him. He just waved at him. And the only thing to come out of that meeting was that I got myself an official North Korea badge. This was made in North Korea, which is pretty cool. So where do we go from here?
I saw on your website that you send things to space. I'd like to send something to space, please.